I'm gonna call myself out here and say I've been dropped a couple of times like that as well.
Oh mate,
no, them ones where your feet come off the ground as well. That's so embarrassing, man. Let me just first of all welcome back everyone to the pod. I think we're on episode like 7 now or something, which is a bit mad because it feels like we haven't been doing it that long, but 7 weeks is a bit of a long time. Let's steer towards European football then, because there was some good games actually, to be fair, recently.
Yeah, so City comfortably beat Gladbach, like pretty comfortable.
Which I didn't think it was going to be that easy for them, you know.
No, because I saw that Gladbach were on a bit of a a losing streak, and they haven't got some of their players. I think some of their players are injured, so it wasn't like their ideal 11. But I mean, Gladbach's still a good team, regardless.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
But City just so comfortable.
It's good to see Bernardo Silva coming back into things. Like, I don't know how regular he's been into the squad or whatever, but it's good to see him getting back on the score sheet and that.
Yeah, he played really well as well.
Yeah, he scored a nice header, didn't he?
Really good header. João Cancelo's doing bits, and again, that's another thing of, you know, he bought him in 2 years ago. 2 years ago, did he
it must
bring
have
him
been about that now, yeah.
2 years ago, and now he's only just starting a feature. So it just shows that when you sign someone, you don't have to play them straight away. And now, you know, 2 years on, he's had time to develop under Pep, and now he's easily looking like one of the best right backs in the game. And he played left back.
He's unbelievable, isn't he? He's so good, man.
Left, and he was quality at left back.
Yeah, he's mad. Like they if they don't win the Premier League this season, if they don't win a trophy this season, wait, did they already win one?
They'll win the Carabao Cup.
Yeah, they got Tottenham, haven't they?
It's literally City.
Okay, but apart from Carabao Cup, if they don't get at least 2 trophies, then I'll be shocked. People are talking about them doing a quadruple, though, you know.
No, I don't think they'll win the quadruple. No, I don't think they will.
It's a bit mad, isn't it? Like, you know, when a team starts to do well, yeah, people just get way carried away. They'll either go like they're going to win nothing or they're going to win everything.
Like, I can see why they think they'd win the quadruple, because they're the most informed side, aren't they? They're on like a massive winning streak, and under Pep, they probably will extend the winning streak. I just don't think that they'll win a quadruple. I mean, quote me on it and clip it if they do. Fair play to them. I mean, if they do, but I just don't see it. I don't see them winning. I think they could win the domestic treble, but I don't think they'll win the Champions League.
I think they're way off that at the minute, to be honest.
I think there's better teams. I know that like Bayern haven't really turned up. I know that I watched the game against Lazio and they smacked them comfortably. But even when they were playing, the goal they conceded was shit. Like, it was just crap defending. And so Bayern haven't really turned up like in recent weeks. And their form in the league's not been great. But like, Bayern didn't come like good until like this second half of the season anyway, last season. So I think there's better teams in it that can challenge City. And again, it's like, I don't know if City are due a drop off. I know that they didn't start the season well, but you know, things can't last forever, can they? Especially with like when you get further into cup competitions, the more games come, the more thick and fast games come. So it's just going to be about how they deal with it. But then again, they've got like £1 billion squad to rotate, haven't they? So, I mean...
It's mad, isn't it? Yeah, it's mad. To be honest, I still think Bayern Munich are going to win it. Because they're just too good on their day. They're way too good.
I think they could probably win the FA Cup, and they probably will win the Carabao Cup, unless there's like a massive drop-off from them against Spurs, and Spurs just have a worldie. I don't really see it going either way, to be fair. And then I saw an interesting thing, actually, because of Pep, you know, obviously doing a decent run, and he's got a decent record as a manager. I saw Alex Ferguson was trending, right? And I thought, oh God, no, not this. Not
this
in
on Twitter, was it?
I was like, not on 2021. No. And then I saw that he was like, people were like, oh, Alex Ferguson's overrated. And I was like, what? Why? And it's because of Pep. So because Pep's like won more Champions League knockout games,
okay,
I think that everyone was going, Pep's the greatest manager of all time because he's done this, and this, X, Y, Z, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, City obviously are impressive in the UCL at the moment. Guardiola's won trophies with like top teams, but he's never dominated. He's never had an era of dominance and like rebuilding the squad after squad after squad, and still keep winning. So I literally saw that and just logged straight off Twitter. To be fair, I saw it and just literally I read it and just swiped up, and I was like, "No, I'm not having that."
Well, I thank you, because you just gave me a title.
Yeah,
You just gave me a title for this one. Yeah, that's a bit mad. I don't think this is the thing. Like, people get carried away, mate. Like that is, if you're a real football fan, you know that's ridiculous. Like, let's not discount or discredit anything that Pep's done, because he's done a lot of stuff. Like with a lot of good teams though.
Yeah.
Like Fergie had Man United when they were in the mud at one point, and it didn't stop. Like, he was playing people like Darren Gibson in centre mid, like starting. And we know what happened to his career after he left Man United.
We beat, I think it was Wolfsburg or something, maybe. Yeah, Wolfsburg when they were just champions of the Bundesliga, and we beat them like 4-0 in the Champions League, and it was like Michael Owen, Obertan, and people like that.
See what I mean? That's a dead team as well that you had.
Shit team. Like, Pep. This is a bit like, I'm not doubting Pep as a manager. I think Pep's a very, very good football manager, but he's a special. Like, the thing is, you've got two different managers. You've got a guy who's tactically like so engrossed in football, like he's so tactically like astute, but then you've got a guy who just knows how to get a team winning, and there's two different things. Like, and also, you know, like Fergie spent money as a United manager. There's no two ways about it. However, he didn't go, here's a 30 million fullback. Oh, you're not doing the job. Let me go buy another 30 million fullback. Oh, you're not doing. Let me go get a 50. Oh, wait, hang on. Let me go get a 50 million. And I know that like there was a thing on the kickoff where we were talking about City, and they were like, they've never like signed a big marquee signing, and I agree with that. Like, they've never gone, here's 80 million like United have, but they've had a transfer window of spending like 50, 60, 50, 50, 30, 30, 40, 30, like on players accumulated. So it might look like, if you look at like United's transfers, we signed like Wan-Bissaka, Harry Maguire, and who's the other one? Signed someone else, can't remember, in like the first window, and it equated to like 150 mil. City would spend that 150 mil totaled up to give us like 5 signings or 6 signings, but they'd still be like 30 mil signings each. So it's not like to sniff at, and it's not like a small amount of money. But
what you're saying is, just to clarify, they don't go for one big player and go bang. So like, for example, they won't go, right, Mbappe, 100 million, you're hit. Like, make smaller signings.
They wouldn't see Haaland and go, right, Dortmund, his clause don't kick in until next season. Here's 120, so we can have him now. Like, they'd rather wait and get him for 60, because then they can spend the 60 either on another player, or they can split it and do 30-30 on someone else and whatever. So they're smart with the amount of money.
It's better business, I would say. It's more smart business, yeah.
Yeah, but it's, you know, it's you've got a manager like Fergie, who was with Aberdeen beforehand, and he won the Scottish League and had success in Aberdeen. Then he goes to United, who, for people who don't realise, was nearly sacked, and they were calling him for the sack. He then turns it around. Literally, Steve Bruce scores that header and turns it around, wins him his first cup, and then the rest is history. And then it's just building club after club and recycling and bringing then the class of is it 93?
92.
Class of 92 in, while still having the decent players beforehand, keeping them going, then keep bringing players in, freshening it up. But you've got a manager like Pep, who knew the Barcelona system and knew the way it was. And then let's not forget that Barcelona was built by Johan Cruyff and was it Rijkaard?
Mm-hmm. It's all a Dutch influence, yeah.
Beforehand, like that kind of thing. So he comes in and takes over, and then it just so happens that he comes into management when he's got 2 of arguably the best centre mids to ever play football in Xavi and Iniesta, a player in Busquets who's probably the best holding midfielder we've probably seen in the last like 25, 30 years.
Probably fathered that role a little bit.
Probably ever, to be fair. like in terms of not like a Makalele, like a ball winner, like a destroyer. Like he's very good at picking positions up. And then you've got arguably one of the best, if not the best player to ever play football. As well as having Henri and like Ibra and Eto and
Ronaldinho.
like Royal and PK, Ronaldinho. Like
Yeah,
it's
his
not
squad
like,
was.
like David Villa, Pedro.
Oh
like,
my days! I forgot about David Villa.
you know what I mean?
Oh
David
my
Villa,
days!
David Villa in his prime was goated.
That
And
Barcelona squad was fire.
Oh, I remember when I was at your house and they were playing Madrid, and he got the ball on the left hand side, and you went, "He's curling this top corner," and
Yeah,
literally took
and he's
one
top right.
straight in the top corner. Like,
That's how good he
mad.
was, man. You could call that type of stuff. Oh my
Then,
days!
like, then he had like Alexis Sanchez, and then when Alexis was like doing his thing for Barcelona, like so. He didn't have mug players at Barcelona.
So realistically, it's not surprised that he won stuff. He should have won stuff with a team like that.
It's the same. He takes a sabbatical
Yeah,
and goes to Bayern. But then going to Bayern is you're the best team in Germany anyway. Like,
but that's the same with Barcelona. Apart from like Real Madrid at that point, that was the same with Barcelona. But I think the main difference between these two managers is Pep has one philosophy and he takes it everywhere. Everywhere he goes. But Fergie was a little bit more like adaptive. In my opinion, anyway. So Fergie would go, okay, look, I've got these players. I can't necessarily play them in like 4-4-2, for example. So let me switch it up and do 4-5-1. But Pep will be like, no, this is what we're playing. This is what I've done my whole career, and it's always worked. So I'm going to do that everywhere.
Look when like Pep's in the mud, for instance, in a game, if he's in the mud, he doesn't have a plan B. He doesn't resort to, this is not working, I need to switch it. Like, and you can quote me on it, and City fans can go, yes, we have. I'm yet to see it. I'm yet like I've never watched City, because obviously City are quite dominant, and it's hard to kind of like counteract Pep's style. But when you do counteract it, he doesn't have the next thing of going, right, they found me out, let me switch it. He always goes, no, stick with what we're doing.
I think this is why you see him lose like 2-0 against Burnley, for example, because when teams come out and they're like physical and they can shut down their counter-attack or whatever, or they don't mind them having the ball, they're like, all right, sound, we'll just sit and then we'll hit you on the counter. They have nothing. Like, that's why when they lose more time, they don't actually score.
Yeah.
So like that, so that's proof there in itself that they don't have a plan B. But if he had that, they could probably win the Champions League if he had that.
And then whereas you look at like United with Fergie, and why it was like Fergie time is because if it gets late in the game, it's right, bang you on, go and fucking do something.
Well, look what he did he made Solskjaer a super sub.
Yeah.
Like Solskjaer could have started in majority of those Premier League teams, but he made him a super sub. And that just shows like the thing, like
really quickly touching on Solskjaer, because I read this, and someone was like, Solskjaer isn't a United legend just because he was a super sub and he scored a goal in the Champions League. And I'm like, if you have any football knowledge, you know that Solskjaer is probably one of the best finishers of a ball.
He did so much more than just that, though. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, this is why, like, and that's a testament to the fact of the amount of good players that you had in that team at the time, because he was a super sub.
Yeah.
Like, you had, like, obviously you had, like, Ruud van Nistelrooy in that, and, like, fucking, like, before him, you had Dwight York, Andy Cole. You always had 6 strikers. So he's always been amongst, like, a plethora of just great finishers. Maybe that's why people say that, but you can definitely be a legend and be a super sub.
Yeah, of course you can.
Look at Olivier Giroud, mate.
Yeah.
Oh, he is, right? I'm going to say this now. Obviously, he used to play for Arsenal, and I hated him when he played for Arsenal. But he's so good. It's unbelievable. Like, this is just a quick little point to touch on. He is so good. If you saw his overhead kick against Atletico Madrid, what the hell was that? What was that? What the hell was that?
You know what makes me laugh more than anything, though? He's the type of player that's got better as he's got older.
Yeah,
like,
he has. He's like a fine wine.
Because look at it when he played for Arsenal and how many chances he missed. Like, if he could convert the chances when he was younger to what he is now, he probably would have broke the Prem scoring record.
Yeah, he'd be unbelievable.
There was times like Arsenal fans used to cuss Giroud so much because he just missed chance after chance, but then he scores a worldie.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Look at the scorpion kick that hits the crossbar and goes in.
Thank you.
Come on, man. It's always been in the locker. It's just like, the thing is, in that Arsenal team, he's getting quite a few chances, so you're bound to miss some.
Well, yeah,
But
obviously.
for me, he's a perfect super sub. He's just like Solskjaer. Obviously, I think he started against Atletico, or maybe he came on for Tammy. I don't know. Can't remember. But yeah,
But
that was unbelievable.
You need a player like that in your team.
Yeah, and that's why like Solskjaer is the reason that he's a United legend. Yeah, is because of the fact he was a super sub. Like if he don't come on, yeah, we're sharing him 99. You don't win the Champions League.
No, we don't.
Like it's just not happening. So that in itself makes him a legend. But the thing is, if it's City fans saying that, it's because they have no club legends. They haven't done anything.
No, of course they don't.
I mean, they've won Prems, don't get me wrong, but those players are too young to be like, apart from maybe Aguero.
But but that's what I mean. I think it says it a lot when like your club legends are like Yaya Toure and Aguero.
Yeah.
Like that really wasn't long, but like United, you've got Best, Charlton, like people are way back in the day, and then like Liverpool, you got Shankly and like Ian Rush and like John Barnes,
big players, big players,
people like that, and
even like Tottenham have legends, mate, like Gaza and that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But City don't really have it yet. That's a bit mad, isn't it?
So it's a test. Obviously, if you look at a lot of kids, they're supporting City just because you support the most successful club, and I know that people go like, I had this out with a guy on like one of my mates on Twitter, and he said about I said there's no such thing as an armchair fan. Like there isn't. Like you pick a team you want to support, and that's the team you stick with. Like, and that's just the team you want to support, and you'll stick with them through thick and thin. And he was like, you should support your local. And I was like, but why is it like, I don't understand this unwritten rule of you have to support your local team. Like, I don't want to support a Northampton. Like, I love Northampton. I'll always check on if they're doing well. Like,
it's not it's just not your club, yeah.
But I don't feel that you know what I mean. I don't feel that kind of.
It's because there's no success though. So like to a certain degree, we do the same thing, but it's just like. I mean, for me, more so than you, obviously, because you're a United fan. When I started supporting Chelsea, they were dog shit.
Yeah.
They were like, I think the only reason that I support them is because I like the kit when I was a kid. And I like the colour blue. So I was like, yeah, this is a mad thing. And then obviously it's just carried on from there. But yeah, like people like that support clubs like that, that's what it is. It's either a successful club or it's your local club. Because like, for example, Burnley, Aston Villa, Sheffield, majority of people that support those clubs are from there. You know what I mean? Unless like you're from Munich and you support Bayern, do you know what I mean? To take it into like a larger scale, that's an easy one. But yeah, anyway,
like,
continue.
I'm not from Manchester, and if I could go and watch every United game, I could, but it's just not feasible. So I can just sit in my home and watch them on telly and still support them. I don't have to be at the ground being vocal about it.
Is that what he was saying?
Yeah, so he was more just a bit like, you should support your local though, and it was like, no, I get it. Like, I get when you just mean.
Sorry to cut you off, mate. When you said like this is just for the people as well as me. When you said there's no such thing as an armchair fan, what do you mean by that? What do you mean by an armchair fan? Just someone that sits at home and watches.
That just sits at home and just watches your team that way,
right? Okay.
Rather than
going to games and
things like that. But it's the thing is like, because it's on TV, I can watch it. So technically, I don't know about anyone listening or how you feel, but if I'm watching my team through a TV or even if I'm in the stadium, I still feel like I'm there. Like,
yeah, but the thing is, you get the same result either way. You're still watching them.
That's the thing. You still like you've seen me watch a United game when I'm in the living room. I'm shouting at it,
frustrated, I'm screaming, big time.
I'm up,
fidget,
and I'm mate. And it'd be the same as if I was in the ground.
But the thing is, though, this is where people don't apply logic, right? Because the reason the game is on TV is because not everyone can go to it.
Yeah.
So. Some people have to watch it on TV, bro. You can't do you know what I mean?
But then also, if you look, so it's like, okay, you support Wolves. He supports Wolves. So
okay,
you support Wolves. Your stadium only holds a capacity of like however many thousand. There are more than that many Wolves fans in your vicinity, and also probably across England, and maybe by chance in the world. By chance, don't know what the fan base is across the world for Wolves, but. Like, if we're all armchair, aren't we then all armchair fans?
Yeah, but like, yeah, you
are.
Like,
okay, so are you? And this is what I said to him. I was like, so are you less of an armchair fan just because you live in the same vicinity of the stadium that your team plays in?
Yeah, because it's easier for you to get there.
Yeah, and I was like, okay, but you don't go to every game though. So does that make you the exact same as me?
That whole concept is retarded.
you know what I mean? And that's what I said to him. I was like, so because you live in Wolverhampton and Wolves Stadium is what, probably 20 minutes away from your house. Are you going to the game today? Yes or no? No, you're not. Okay, well, you're watching them on TV, the exact same that I'm doing for Man United.
But that's the thing is, like, Wolves are a niche team. Wolves are like a niche
Yeah.
team. So, like, it's like I said, you can put them in the same bracket as Aston Villa, like Birmingham, like Sheffield.
Yeah.
No one just goes, oh, I think I might support Wolves. Do you know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
they've only been good for the last few seasons. So if you
Well,
support
yeah.
them, more than likely you are from there. I'm not gonna, being from Northampton, I'm not gonna wake up one day and be like, I think I might fancy, I might like support Wolves. Even though at the time when I'm a kid, they're in like League Two. Do you know what I mean? You're just not gonna do that. So
I mean,
that's a niche team.
Yeah, it might make sense, like you said, if it's like maybe if we support Villa, because Birmingham's not far from us.
Yeah.
So it makes sense. Like, I mean, the nearest Prem team to us is probably is Villa, isn't it? Or West Brom. Or
Probably
Birmingham.
Villa. I think Villa.
Birmingham
Yeah.
Prem, so yeah, it's Villa.
I think Villa.
So like that makes sense. But then again, I can't go to every game, so I just watch them on telly. So
Yeah, but that's you don't support a team because you can go to the games.
Yeah, exactly.
Like that's just dumb. That's not a smart thing to say.
Isn't it? Stupid. And also,
then again, even if that's the case, like I could do that with Chelsea because they're in London. That's not that far away.
Yeah. But also, what if I wanted to go and watch every game of Northampton, but I couldn't because obviously you've got people who have season tickets, and then what if I turn up and at the door and there's not enough tickets? What do I do then?
Yeah, or you might have work, or you like. There's so many extenuating circumstances that mean that you can't. Like literally, if you lot want to have these type of chats with Liam on Twitter, just follow him up because I would have put his handle on the screen already, but I'll give it a little flash up one more time because he loves these types of discussions, mate. He needs some people to fire some opinions at him, and then he'll be all right.
I think you like everyone is an armchair fan in some way, shape, or form. Like you are. If you can't go to a game, you will watch it on TV. So that makes you an armchair fan.
I think like the key word though is fan.
Yeah.
Like that's what it is. Like you spectate. It's a spectator sport. Like doesn't matter where you are, what you're doing. The fact that you've put the game on means that you're a fan. Like you wouldn't go unless like you're just a general football fan, which a lot of people that support a football team obviously are. Like for example, I might go, oh shit, Man United have got Tottenham. I'm gonna watch that. Like, but if you because some people don't even have Sky, bro. Like I don't have Sky, so if they're not on BT, I've got to find a live stream.
Yeah, exactly.
So the fact that you're going through all that type of effort, you're a fan. Like, it doesn't matter where you're sitting. Yeah, like because you want to watch it. So that's ridiculous.
Also, I quite like. I don't know about you, like because obviously. You know me, I love winning, and I love when teams win and shit.
Yeah.
I love when my team wins. I hold quite a thing of being like, every time I've gone to Old Trafford, they've not lost.
Yeah, it's the same with me and Chelsea. Yeah, it's mad.
They've not lost.
But I think that's because, like, the only reason for me is, like, when I went, I think my uncle used to take me, for people that are listening. Yeah. I think he was smart about who they were playing.
Right, okay.
Because, like, the times I've been, they played against Everton, which is when they had Wayne Rooney. So that's how long ago that was. We still had Jimmy Ford Hasselbank as well. Oof. Jesus. Absolute hammer foot, mate. He hit the post, and I like literally echoed through the whole ground. Blackburn. Blackburn and Middlesbrough. I think I've been one more time, but I can't remember who they played against. Might have been like Bolton or something. So the only teams they've played, they should have been beaten because that's when we had like Good Johnson, Arjen Robben, obviously Frank Lampard. Our team was sick, mate, and we were just like it was just a mad thing. But I think that's the only reason they've won every time I've been.
Yeah, so I've done it where it was like under Fergie, I watched them against Southampton and we beat them 1-0. Like and Wayne Rooney scored. And then I watched them under David Moyes. We played Norwich in the Cup and they won 4-0. Phil Jones scored an absolute fucking screamer.
Go on, Phil.
And then what was the other one? I feel like I've been more than 3
Saint
times.
Etienne, you've been to watch Saint Etienne?
Yeah, when I watched them in Saint Etienne against Jose, when we were with Jose. And
you've been one more time than
that. By the way, whoever's listening, Paul Pogba is fucking unbelievable. Like when I watched him in that game, he was absolutely like fucking class.
It's like, different on the eye, isn't it, when you're there?
Oh, unbelievable. Watching how he moved, like how he dribbles around people for someone of his size. Oh, phenomenal. Worst hat trick I've ever seen as well from Zlatan. Worst hat trick.
Yeah, that was a poor hat trick. That was a bad hat trick. Are you excited about? Are you obviously like we're on to the subject of going to watch live games now? So I don't know how we got to this, by the way, from between who's the greater manager out of Pep and Fergie.
Oh yeah,
this is just how
it's Sir Alex, and there's his end of argument.
Yeah,
Until
it is. Obviously, put it in the comments if you're watching on YouTube.
until Pep wins like 3 titles in a row and does it for a sustained period of time and wins the treble, like the UCL, the Prem, and the FA Cup. Don't talk to me.
There you go. Yeah, obviously, if you wanna counter that argument, put it in the comments down below. If you listen on
Don't talk to
Spotify,
me. You're not doing it.
yeah. If you listen on Spotify, then just hit Liam up on Twitter or me on Instagram, and then we can obviously continue that conversation. But yeah, what I was going to say is, now we're on to the subject of live games. Yeah, obviously Boris has laid out our little exit plan.
Yeah, man.
And in there somewhere, which I believe is July sort of time, they are piloting obviously people going back to games and stuff like sporting events.
Yeah,
so are you excited for that, number one? And number two, because I know I am, are you going to make more of an effort to try and go to games when and where you can?
Yeah, I think that like COVID in general has like put it into perspective of how much you kind of take for granted and how much you've missed out on.
Exactly.
Like, so it's even like the smallest things, like us going for a kick about the park or something, or like even like if we want to just go watch Northampton for like for
we've done that. We've done that a few times. Yeah, that's lit.
Like go watch Northampton for a couple of weekends. Like, but I absolutely, if I can find tickets to go, then I would. But then the problem is to counter that is because now people have missed out for so long.
It's gonna be mad.
The demand for stuff is going to be fucking high. Like, imagine you ain't going to get a ticket to a Premier League match for at least a good couple of years. At least.
I think though that is going to mean that we're going to see a rise in sales of season tickets. Because like people will go, oh no, I can't miss it. I'm going to buy a season ticket. So then if I want to go, I can go. So I think like stadiums are going to sell out regardless of what type of ticket they're selling. But
I think just because of how long it's been since someone set foot in a stadium and had that experience, you ain't going to get a ticket.
The atmosphere is going to be ridiculous. Like, I'm thinking about.
So say if like it's United or it's Chelsea, for instance, or even if it's like an England game, general sale is going to fucking go in minutes. Like minutes.
It's going to be like one of them things where you go on and you're like 100,000 in a queue or something.
Yeah.
And you're like, what the fuck am I doing?
And it's just you've got to get it at the right time.
And you have to keep refreshing until you get your ticket. That is mad.
I want to get the Series X.
Do you know what it's like? Yeah, it's literally like Xbox and PS5.
Bastard.
Yeah, that big old cube there. But it's like when we found out that the Euros were going to be in England and stuff. Yeah, I was like, I want to try and get tickets for the final or whatever but obviously you have to go to a certain amount of away games. I didn't know that at the point.
Yeah.
But I was like, okay, let me research how you have to sit on the phone, like in a phone queue, and just wait for them to answer it. So like it would be like you are like, for example, 1.1 million such and such in the queue, and you'd be like, what the I've literally got to sit here about 10 hours. And you had to wait on the phone. So it was really like testing people to say, like, how badly do you want these tickets, bro?
No, I ain't doing that, mate. I ain't got the patience to sit like that.
No, that's why I think like if I was going to go to a game, I'd go to like, if I wanted to watch Chelsea, I'd go. So the best thing to do is not go to Stamford Bridge. It's like go to when they play Aston Villa. Go to Aston Villa. Do you know what I mean? Because it's going to be easier to go because I know they only get a certain like allocated amount of tickets, but that would just be easier to go to. But yeah, I'm definitely buzzing for like fans to get back in, man. I'm thinking about like atmospheres like Liverpool, like before a game when everyone's singing like "You Never Walk Alone." Old Trafford is going to be a mad thing. Even like any big team, to be honest, any stadium. But I'm thinking about more like the big teams. Like that is going to be mad. Even when you're watching it on telly and you can hear them all singing, that's going to be ridiculous.
It's going to be mad more than anything. Is like as a United fan, like hearing. Like you know, I love Bruno. Hearing people chant his name because he's literally played in front of like an Old Trafford crowd. I think it's like 3 times.
Yeah, it's mad.
Like 3 times, and he's played like 50 odd games. Like about 3 times. Like that's no, he hasn't played 50 games. Played like I don't know, like 40 odd or something. I don't know.
Yeah, we don't know official stats, but it's not
remember how much. But like they love him. Like so, the minute that he touches a ball at Old Trafford, people are gonna go mad. For him, mad.
Do you feel like a little bit of like their success has come at a bit of an annoying time because like obviously they've been playing really well recently or whatever. There's no one there to see it. So like if fans get back in and they start playing wank again, that's going to be annoying, especially if you pay to go, like because they've been doing so well. But do you think they needed that though? Like it's less
think
pressure because that's such a like theatre. Like,
Yeah.
so, like that must
So
be mad.
I don't buy. It's like when we come back to the Liverpool argument. Like I don't buy this excuse of. I'd get it, right? I would get Liverpool's argument if they weren't allowed their fans, but other teams were. Like I'd get it, like because everyone knows that the Liverpool crowd is intimidating and it is like so loud and of a jumping atmosphere. So I'd understand if they weren't allowed fans, but then games they went to, they had fans as well, so they could use that as an excuse of, well, we didn't have our fans, so etc. etc. But because everybody has not had their fans, then the argument's irrelevant because we're on the same playing field. Like, so what's not to say that the results that we've dropped in the past couple of months, if we didn't have our fans, would we have won those games and got results? And then we'd literally either be in touching distance of City or we'd be above them. Like, so it's like, you know, it doesn't really. But I think, to be honest, quite a lot of clubs have benefited.
That's what. Yeah, that's what I was more getting at. Is do you think it's helped a lot of teams?
Yeah,
well,
absolutely.
obviously Man United, but a lot more teams as well, from what you're saying.
Absolutely, I think they're like teams like West Ham, for instance, like
Flying.
Yeah, teams like West Ham. I mean, if they were getting rubbish results at the start and then they had their fans, like their fans would turn and they go to shit, like, and their performances would drop. But because they don't have that, it's like a bit of a relaxant. It's like, oh, we ain't got to play in front of people today. And to be honest, I can see potentially the positives of not having fans, to be fair. Like, because there's certain teams that have like stepped up and performed because they don't have that pressure of their own. Like, so if they go on like a shit run, for instance, they haven't got the fans on their back, like booing them or giving them jip and things like that. Like, think about Sheffield United. Like, I love Chris Wilder, but would he still be in a job if they had fans?
It's a very good point.
Like, would he still be there if they had fans? Like, think about. So, say for instance, if Liverpool had their crowd and they were playing the way they were and they were still doing it through their fans, what would then be the reaction then? Like, kind of thing. So, I think it's just one of those where it's a bit of like what ifs and buts, but I think that, you know, it's definitely benefited, like some teams, definitely. It is annoying that we've probably hit some of our best form in recent week. Like,
that probably shows that what we're saying is right, though. The fact that there's now no fans and Man United seems to be playing well because there's no on-site pressure.
Yeah,
from your own fans, that's just mad.
And I get this whole thing with United that if they're like struggling or whatever, the fans are like attack. And I get it. Like, you want to see your team put the opponent on the back foot and stuff. But I think the modern day football fan is too reactionary and they're too like, oh, well, you were losing 1-0 when you didn't even try. And it's like, but it's not like those days anymore where clubs would turn up to Old Trafford and be scared. Like, it's very rare that you get that. Like, teams will happily go to us, get a goal, and just sit back and go on, then break us down, do what you need to do. Like, and having the fans go in attack in this day and age don't help because then the players are like, can you all shut the fuck up for a second and just let us do?
Yeah, like we know what we're doing. We get paid bare peas.
Like, and then, you know, they'll come away and be like, oh, there was no effort and no passion. It's like, well, not being funny, mate, but if you played football, you'd know how hard it is to try and break down a team who is literally just camping on the edge of their box and going, go on, then do something.
Like, also, if you don't show passion and effort in your own job, stop talking to footballers about how they do their job, yeah?
You know what I mean?
A lot of you lot are lazy at work. I'm the same, actually. But don't even try it with these footballers until you can do your own job properly. You get me?
Yeah. Like, attitude on some players, I can agree. Like, I watched Martial last night, and it was really pissing me off because, like, he did it a couple of times, and I was like, right, I'll let it go. But then, like, I don't know if it's just me as my expectations, but, like, if you lose a ball, doesn't matter if it's the first minute or the 90th plus 4. If you lose a ball, you try and go and win it back. At least try. Like, you don't have to, but at least show that you're trying to do something about it. And there was a couple of times that, like, he'd lose the ball and then he just goes, and then he just starts walking, or he goes, nah, and says something to himself, and he's walking. And then I was like, I'll let it go. But then, like, the whole game, he just kept losing it and then throwing his arms in the air. And I was like, right, this is starting to really piss me off now. Like, this is really getting to me. And I tweeted it. I said, I fucking hate that he just literally throws a sulk out of everything. Like, he loses the ball and just goes.
I think that might be, though, because he's him personally is probably under quite a lot of pressure to perform.
But then
He hasn't
surely
been.
that's
So like, I know like
surely-
it depends what type of personality you've got though, don't it? Like if you're like, let's say if it was Ronaldo, I know it's obviously two very different like level of players. But if it's Ronaldo, if he misses one chance, loses the ball, whatever, the next time he does it, he's going to do it 100 times better or with more effort.
Yeah.
Like, because he can handle pressure like that. But maybe like Martial's not like that. So every time he like does something like that, he's like, shit, I just missed the chance to make an impact. And that's why he's like, do you know what I mean?
But then,
And you know what it's like though, yeah? As soon as you're on a football pitch and you get bummed out, you don't want to play anymore. Like, if that keeps happening, you don't want to play anymore. That's happened to me so many times. Like, at goals and stuff, like when we're playing five-a-side. If a team's all over us, man, I'm just like, I can't be arsed with this. Like, if I keep losing the ball, I can't make a pass. I'm just like, mate.
Yeah, no,
blow up.
Actually, I do agree. It is like human nature, isn't it? That like, if you're just getting pummeled and getting fucking fisted, that you're just like.
I get that, like, a lot of people would probably say, look at the wages they're on, though, blah, blah, blah. But, like, that's fair enough. But what people seem to never do is bring it down to, like, a human level.
Yeah.
Like, because its most basic form, Premier League football is just a load of men doing their job, like going to work. So if you know, that you personally, whatever job you do, like it could be an office job, you could work on a petrol station. If you know that you have shit days at work and that makes you feel like arse, they're exactly the same. So there's no point getting onto them. This is why I hate when fans get onto players, man.
If not 10 times more, because you know, I get it that like if you make a mistake, you're at the potential of a sack, and that's fine. I get that, but then you've then got to look at it from their point of view, where it's like, if I'm not pulling my weight over a run of games, I get dropped, and could potentially fuck my career for the rest of my life.
And don't forget about the backlash on social media as well.
Yeah, and I know that like people go, well, yeah, because but if it doesn't work, you'll just go to another club for loads more money, and it's like, yeah, but you know how demoralising it is for the fact of
keep moving.
You've then just got to go to somewhere else you don't want to be, and you've got to look at where you could have been. And
got to move your family, you got to move your kids, you got to think about schools, you got to think about everything.
They're going to go, oh, but it's loads of money, and it's like, well, they get paid the money. I was like, but think how much money they've lost. Like they've now got to do a new lifestyle, like complete, like so you could be earning, let's go for argument's sake, 150k a week, and you're living a 150k a week lifestyle. You not pulling your weight, all of a sudden next year you're down to a 20k a week lifestyle.
Can't keep it up. It's gone.
Like, and you've then got to make compromises. Then your habits start to change and your attitude starts to change. And so I know that people again will go, but that's still a lot of money. Yes, it is a lot of money, but everything's relative.
It's a lot of money, but it's a lot less than what you had.
Yeah, everything's relative. Like people will go, oh well, they get to drive around in their fancy cars and stuff, and it's like, well, yes, because it's relative to what they're doing. Like, if you earn a load of money, you live in a bigger house because you can afford to live in a bigger house. But the chances are the money they're earning for the house that they're running is the exact same as what your wage would be running your house.
Yeah.
Like it's relative.
Yeah.
Like, so it doesn't matter like if they have a nicer car or a nicer house, it just lets their money do it. But their money is probably still going to have the same impact it has on your money.
Effectively, it's the same thing, like the ratio towards.
It's just the money, the values are different.
Yeah. That's literally all it is. They've just got more than you, but they've got more than you, but their stuff's more expensive. So basically, it evens out. Like it's not. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's the same.
And I know that they'll go, oh yeah, but they get paid every week, and it's like, okay, yeah, but then if you then broke your wages down to a week, it's again the same thing. It's relative. Like you still spend the money relative to.
Yeah. Also, like money doesn't equal mood.
Yeah, but also it's not your fucking money, so who cares?
Shut up about it. Unless you work for HMRC, shut up about it, bro.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? It's not your money, so why do you care?
Do you know what's weird? Like, to kind of go off on like a little sidebar, we always have these type of conversations, right? I feel like our conversations are like both of us ganging up on like a troll. But like, have you noticed though, the people that you're talking to, you have no idea who they are?
No, but they are. It is though. It's just.
It's mad though, isn't it? Don't you think that as a concept is fucked?
Yeah, it's so.
Like you know who you're talking to, but you have no idea who they are.
No, so but why don't they listen? I don't listen, you little fucks.
Right, I'm getting the Illuminati triangle in my eye. Yeah, 100%.
Fucking mouth shut and let people live their lives and kick ball. Leave them.
Yeah, it's mad, man.
Fine,
I would want to be a
you can
footballer, but at the
have
same
an
time,
opinion.
I'd rather not.
Well, mate, you can sit and talk and you can have an opinion, and that's absolutely fine. But it brings us back to the points we were making before, where it's you're allowed your point of view, and that's fine, but it doesn't make it right and it doesn't make it a fact. Like, it doesn't make it that way. Like, even what we're sitting and talking about now, it's not a fact. It's just if someone happens to agree with us or it resonates with them, they can take what we're saying and then it can form a new opinion that they now think.
Yeah, the problem is that everyone thinks they have a good opinion.
Opinions are like Play-Doh. You can literally put loads of different ones together and mush it up, and it's still going to be fucking Play-Doh. It's just multicolored. Like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be. No, but it doesn't have to be red all the time or blue Play-Doh all the time. You can mix it up, and it still is Play-Doh. Like, it doesn't matter. Opinions can change.
That's
Metaphors by Liam Fox.
And you know, it's going to be like, that's going to be on your tombstone.
Yeah, it is, mate. It's like
opinions can change. Liam Fox, 2021.
Going back then.
Yeah, what were we actually talking about before this?
I fucking don't know, mate. It's all in
I feel like it's quite good though, because like this is the types of directions that football takes you in.
Yeah, mate.
You can go everywhere. You can go everywhere with it. And if you're listening and you're confused, just go back, just rewind to the last bit where one of us made a solid point or actually asked a question, because I know that we do that at some point, and then just go from there. If you're confused, don't worry, because we are too. That's all it is, isn't it?
Football is more than the ball on grass, basically. Speaking of grass, grows out of the mud. Do you know who else in the mud? Liverpool. So basically,
oh my days, the segues are on point as well.
They're not having a good time, really.
No, they're not, man. Do you know what the peak though is? It's like every time we start one of these, I'm like, okay, we're probably going to talk about something different today, and then it's always Man United, Liverpool, social media. That's it. To be fair though, like in the Premier League every week, all you can really talk about is results. So I understand why we keep flip-flopping back to the same stuff. But anyway, yeah, Liverpool at the moment, mate, are not on it at all. I saw talks today that I think, was it PSG and Real Madrid? Might not be Real Madrid, but I definitely saw PSG want Wijnaldum, apparently. It could be the start of them losing like key parts to their puzzle, like so to speak, to their title-winning puzzle, because Wijnaldum's been instrumental, to be honest, for the last few seasons.
I think the problem with Liverpool is they've got too many players that they're now approaching like the twilights of their career. So now it's a case of who do you then now go and get in to replace them and do an adequate, if not better, job? And there's not many.
That's the problem. Is like they if you've got let's say all your players are the same age. Yeah. And they all retire at the same time, you have to build a new team.
Yeah.
Unless your academy is sick, which they've had a few academy like prospects or whatever, but they're not insane. Yeah, like they don't have an unbelievable, like they're not like, for example, like you said, class of 92 earlier.
Yeah.
And this is how we tie things back in. Yeah. That whole team basically was like academy prospects, just bang, 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 bang. Like, and that's why obviously Man United did so well back then, because they had players that they bought in as well as the players that they bought through. But Liverpool's academy, I've never seen anything good apart from Gerrard.
Yeah, when it's even like to say, even United at the moment, where you've got like Greenwood coming in, Rashford's an academy graduate, McTominay's an academy graduate, like Shoretire, who made his debut yesterday.
Played really well.
Like Ahmad, who I know we brought in, but he's still very, very young. Like, so if you actually want to talk, like Ethan Galbraith is an academy graduate who's very like Northern Ireland international. Like, we've got Tegan Mendy, who's now on loan to Derby, trying to get like some first team minutes and stuff. So we've got the players coming in, and it's like a conveyor belt for United, and we've constantly got people coming in from the academy as well as players who we're going to bring in. And it wasn't like that under like Moyes or like.
Yeah, you had a bit of a period where it kind of dropped off a little bit.
So like Louis van Gaal, definitely, like Twanzebe made his appearance. Rashford did, like Dean Henderson
as well.
Fossey Mensah, yeah. So, you know, we've got those players. But yeah, I agree with you. Liverpool are a little bit in a situation now where, because they've had injuries and because they've taken a massive knock in the league, they've now got to sit at the end of this season and look and go, right, we've got to get people in as backup. Like, we need players in that are going to just slot straight in and do a job. And it kind of brings me on the point that I was going to touch on, because I saw that Carragher, who Liverpool through and through, everybody knows Carragher's like a Liverpool boy, came out Sky Sports point blank and just went, I'm not having these excuses of injuries, and having no Van Dijk's not an excuse. And that was so refreshing.
Yeah, it is.
To hear someone who is diehard Liverpool and say it's not good enough. Like, why is the injuries they're sustaining happening? Like, why have they not got backup? Why are they only then relying on Van Dijk to be fit to then get anything? And also, why is Van Dijk being injured affecting them scoring goals?
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't. So it's just they're not being very. And then what made me laugh more is Carragher came out and said that, and then Liverpool fans swamped on Twitter and basically just went, remove him from being a club legend. He ain't a club legend anymore for saying that.
That's just sickening, isn't it? That is so sickening.
Mad.
Like, but that's the thing, is that like that should do one of two things. Well, should do both of them, but it seems it's only done one of them. It either makes all your home fans, so Liverpool fans, be like, shit, he's right. If they really respect him like they should, and like what would happen if Steven Gerrard said that, I wonder? Would it be like, oh, but it's Stevie G, so he must be right?
Yeah.
So why is Carragher, if Carragher's been working for Sky Sports for that long, and he's also played however many seasons for Liverpool, he knows what he's talking about, despite how annoying he is, he knows what he's talking about. So they should respect him, which they obviously haven't. And the second thing that it does is endears other fans, so people that aren't Liverpool fans, to Jamie Carragher. Because it's more of a, like, I have more respect for him for saying that.
Yeah, 100%.
And even you as a Man United fan, that's the opposite way to the way that it should be.
Yeah.
It's just so, like, backwards, man. I don't get it.
But again, it's this culture, isn't it, of, oh, well, you don't think what we think, so you're wrong. And it's like, but he's not wrong. He's like, he's stating the obvious. He's stating of, you're not scoring goals. How is that your injury's fault? You've still got the same front three. Like, they're not injured. So what's going on? And also, do you know what I got really pissed off with when I watched Liverpool Everton? Right? Because, like, I didn't want Liverpool to win, but I wanted to see a shift. I wanted to see they're going to kick on from here. And do you know what? Right? Klopp gets off scot-free because he took off a midfielder and he put on Shaqiri in midfield. Like, you have midfielders on the bench to put on. So why are you taking off a midfielder and putting on a winger?
What, took off a centre mid?
To put him in centre mid. So Shaqiri played in centre mid. You have a midfield, like, Naby Keita is sat on the bench.
Yeah, and he's better than Shaqiri as well.
You know what I mean? Like, you have midfielders you can bring on. Why are you not bringing them on?
I feel like Klopp's going into a little bit of a Jose space where, like, because I've seen, like, interviews and, like, little clips or whatever that he's just not having it. Like, and like,
I get that, like, he lost his mum, and that's a horrible thing, and, like, you know, you wouldn't wish that on anybody.
No, of course you wouldn't.
And it's, you know, obviously it is a mental kick, like, whatever. But I'm sorry, and I don't want to seem like really insincere, but you're trying to tell me that just because Klopp lost his mum, his team's playing shit. Like,
I mean, like, a lot of things. Obviously, we're only gonna ever have like our opinion, I guess. Yeah. But like that to play devil's advocate could have an effect on the whole team if he's down. Do you know what I mean? Or like he might not be necessarily thinking straight, but then to counter that, he should still know what he's doing because he's won the Champions League.
Yeah, cool.
So he still has that knowledge. Like, that knowledge doesn't disappear just because, like, a massive life event, which obviously that is. And obviously, I'm sorry to hear it. Like, that, like, shouldn't affect his decision. Maybe not decision making, but his knowledge.
If you're manager and you loved your manager, and like the other 11 players on the pitch, well, the other 10 players on the pitch, including yourself, loved him as like a father figure, and they love him as a manager, and you love your boss, and you go to work because you go to work and you love your manager, you do everything you can to make them happy if they're having a shit time.
You play out your skin.
So why, I don't get why they're not. So I don't want to say it's an excuse, because I don't think I think Liverpool fans using that as an excuse is disgusting, because he's allowed to have time to grieve and he's allowed to feel the way he's feeling, and I get that, but don't then use that as an excuse of why your team's playing poor. Like, yeah, but
this is the thing, mate. Is there a different breed of people? Like, and I'm not being like obviously discriminatory or anything like that, but like, they just are unlike anyone that I've ever seen or known. Like, everything they do has a reason behind it, like that's just so stupid, man. Like if it's clutching at straws at its finest, man. It really is. Like they could do anything they like. Okay, you just lost 4-0 against Everton, for example. What happened there? Well, the driver hit a pothole with the bus when he was coming around that corner just before he got to the stadium, and I think it shook the players up a little bit. Like that is something that they would say.
Yeah, no,
like,
it is.
The
it genuinely
driver hit a pothole, mate. Are you joking me? Before the 90 minutes even started.
What? Right, do you know what as well is I have not seen a single reasonable Liverpool explanation other than what Carragher said.
Yeah, literally.
Not one. I've got mates who support Liverpool and they're silent. They don't say anything about it, or they retweet the bollocks that other Liverpool fans are retweeting. So it's like
the truth hurts, mate.
No, it is, and look, I get it. Your team was fantastic for the last couple of years. I get it. You're really good. You've got a good set of players. However, like you said, you are clutching at straws. You're not very good at the moment, and accept it.
And that's fine. Like, we don't care if Liverpool are shit. Like, we're not coming out going, Liverpool are fucking well.
Yeah, mate. If you as a club are not doing well, and you as a fan come out and go, "We're fucking garbage," I'll be like, fair. At least you're honest.
I think sorry to cut you off, mate. I think what a large part of it is number one, they don't want it to feel like it was a fluke, because a lot of people said that it was a fluke, blah blah blah, whatever. Like they played as well as they played, so I don't think it was a fluke. But another thing is like, hold on a minute, we waited 30 years for that. Yeah, you're going to tell me we're going to do it once and we've got to wait another 30 years? Like that's probably why they're like, nah, come on, we can do it. Like they don't want to go back to what they've had to go for, man, because like obviously other teams around them are playing really well. So like this now could be like Liverpool win the league once and then City win it for the next 5 years.
Yeah,
like that could literally happen.
Yeah, and like you said, the thing is as well is you've now got a situation of people now know how to beat Liverpool.
Yeah,
people like now are looking at it going, okay, so without such and such player and such player, we can do whatever. But regardless of like without players, they still got beat 7-2 by Villa. Like,
yeah, that was mad. People forget about that as well.
With one of the strongest squads they had, by the way. Like with Jota, who they're saying if we had Jota, we'd win those games.
He was a saviour.
He played the game. Like he played. Oh, we didn't have like Van Dijk played that game. Gomez played that game. I think the only difference was instead of Mane, it was Jota that played.
I think also Salah scored, so Salah must have played.
Yeah.
I think Salah scored anyway, but he definitely played.
Yeah. So it was Salah and I can't remember who else scored.
I can't remember who scored the other goal either.
It's literally the same lineup bar Mane and Alisson.
That is so ridiculous, isn't it? That's why I love the Premier League, though. I love the Premier League because stuff like that can happen.
Yeah.
Like remember when Middlesbrough beat Man City 8-0?
Oh, mate, mad.
What? That's when Man City were really in the mud, though. They were nowhere. Like they were nowhere. They had a little period where, like, when they had like Mika Richards and like Phillips, little bit of Alano, Robinho. Woo! They had a squad, boy, and then they got fucking pumped. Also, the greatest ever footballing tragedy, Michael Johnson as well. Get me? He was insane for like 2 seasons, and then he just went.
Stephen Ireland, boldest head going.
Yeah, Stephen Ireland was fire as well. Stephen Ireland was sick.
Boldest head you've ever seen.
Stephen Ireland was so good. Mate, we're going to need to do an episode at one point about underrated players, because there's so many.
Oh, mate, I want to make a list of just underrated players.
There's so many. Like, I even think about like the boots that like Elano used to wear. Do you remember those total 90s that he used to wear?
Remember Giovanni for Hull?
Oh my days.
Oh
yeah, that's mad. Like the old Impact like signings used to be just
so good.
Yeah, that was a mad time,
I want to just stick on Liverpool just for a sec.
Yeah, of course, mate.
There's one more thing I think about them that kind of like annoys me is old flop around Salah. Like
I did see. To be fair, I did see a TikTok where I don't know if you've seen it, where Rafinha goes in. Who'd they last play? Crystal Palace.
Who? Liverpool.
Leeds. Sorry, Leeds.
Oh, Leeds.
Yeah, Rafinha goes into the byline, and he beats a player. And this guy's like, "Oh, look, it's Rafinha. What's he going to do? Is he going to go down? No, he's not, because he's not Mo Salah." And he just keeps running on and just passes the ball off. I pissed myself.
But it's so true. I don't get why he does it.
Yeah, it's diving's just an issue, big time.
Like, and the thing is, like, I get dodgy decisions from penalties, and like when VAR fucks up when it's like a tap or like a stand on the foot or something, it's just a bit like soft as shit. But like he genuinely like feels a bit of contact and then like just goes like throws his arms in the air and then just falls over. Like that's what makes it so bad, and the fact that he never gets booked. Never gets booked.
Yeah, what the problem for me is obviously that, and to add to that is that like, excuse me, referees seem, and people just in general seem to think that you can't commit a foul without dropping someone.
Yeah.
Because like, I get the whole aspect of like advantage or something, but if someone gets booted in the leg and they stand up, they still have the ball, like it's still a foul because it's still contact that you shouldn't be making. Yeah. Like it's still like illegal contact. I get like shoulder barges, everything like that is like more legal contact, whatever.
Yeah.
But if I'm stood there and I'm like about to stride forward and you just boot me in the leg, that's a foul and it should be a pen. Yeah. But if you don't go down, you don't get it. Yeah. That's the issue. That's where diving comes from, bro. If you don't go down, you don't get it. Like if refs were more like on their job and VAR was checking like literally every single little piece of contact. To be honest, even somewhere they check it, and you know the ones where it's like that.
Yeah.
That little bit, that little like brush of, and they're like, and they got like Harvey Barnes did it against Slavia Prague. Like the guy just put his hand on his shoulder like that, and Harvey Barnes was like, and he just went down. And I was like, bro, this is a bit mad.
Hate it. Like it is a contact sport. Like, mate, how many times have we played football, like even in Sunday League, and we've ran shoulder to shoulder with someone and just dropped someone from a shoulder barge, and they've blown it for a foul, and you've gone, "Are you fucking joking?"
Yeah, I'm gonna call myself out here and say I've been dropped a couple of times like that as well.
Oh mate,
no, them ones where your feet come off the ground as well. That's so embarrassing, man.
Your feet come off the ground.
That's all right because it happened at goals. Remember? I don't know if you remember. Like I was in the corner and he just went, and I was like, "Oh shit!" I fucking dropped hard. I heard it hit the floor like that. Yeah, but like they're not fouls though. I didn't get up and be like, "What the fuck?" Like they're not fouls because that is a shoulder barge is fine. If you both go in, like it can happen to either of you. It's both using the force, so that's reciprocated. So that's fine. But like just the.
I could get it if like I ran into someone's back and like fucking launched him. Like that's a foul.
Yeah.
Like it's like with. Did you see the Lindelof one yesterday?
No, I've not seen that.
So I don't think it's a foul personally, but like I get it, but I don't think it's a foul. Like we had a corner and it came in and Lindelof runs and he's looking at the ball and he jumps, but he misses it. But as he's jumped, this guy in front of him hasn't jumped. Like he's not jumped at all. Okay, and the guy's literally watched the ball and then he's turned around and Lindelof's knees just come flying into his fucking head, right? No meaning behind it. And Twanzebe scored off it. So Lindelof missing it, went to Twanzebe and he planted it in and he scored.
Foul.
And then the ref gave it for a foul, right? Now, I get it. Like, I get it. But at the same time, for me, if you as a defender are not paying attention to what's around you and you even haven't contested, how is that a foul? And also, Lindelof hasn't run in and just thought, I'm going to run and I'm going to fucking knee this guy straight in the head. Like, he's run to contest the ball, but the ball's just gone over his head and he's missed it.
Yeah, it's more of a afters type of thing. But, like, if you're going to give that, then you have to give the ones where someone will make a really good sliding tackle. They get the ball, but they get the man after. Like, they get the man afterwards. Like, they're normally not giving us free kicks.
Mate, you'd be surprised. There's a couple of VAR ones I've seen where it's been like, if you've got the ball first, your movement's going to take you
through the player.
Through the man, unless you're like way over the top and you're like reckless. But like when I see tackles where it's like someone's gone in for a slide and say like that's your ankle, and someone's gone, the ball's here, they've come, taken the ball first, but then they've kept sliding and it's hit their ankle, and people like that's a red card. It's like, but it's not. Like, how else are you going to tackle them when you're sliding?
Yeah. Okay. Well, if they still get even as free kicks, maybe I'm living in the 90s.
if like you won the ball, but you're like way up here and you go bang straight into someone's knee, then I get that, because why is your leg up there for?
Yeah.
Like, but with that Lindelof one, it was like the defender's not contested against Lindelof. Lindelof just jumped to try and win the header, and the guy doesn't even know what's going. Like, you watch the guy, mate, and genuinely he's like this, and he goes, yeah, oh no, there's a knee, and it literally just hits him in the head.
You see that quite a lot though with defenders.
That's a you problem.
Yeah.
Like, that's a you issue. Like, yours, contest it. At least just jump. Like, and also,
I mean, if he went up 2, then you can. If he contested it, then you can kind of see, like, you'd be like, okay, cool, because they both went for it. But if he just stood there, you're just an innocent bystander. What are you supposed to do? Like, you can't.
Yeah.
I saw that happened yesterday as well, actually, in the Leicester game. Leicester had a free kick, and I think it was Harvey Barnes again, actually. So shout out to you, Harvey, getting 2 mentions in this one. He came around the. So obviously they're all stood in a line on the edge of the box.
Yeah.
He beat. He was running with his defender, and his defender pushed him into one of their other defenders. So like kind of led him into the other defender, and he took the other defender out, ran into him, and they got a free kick the other way. But again, like, that defender weren't looking at him. That defender was just like, and he just ran into him, and they got a free kick the other way.
And do you know what? It's a little bit like, right, when I saw that Lindelof one, I was like, there's so many factors in that why it's not a foul. But then when you've got Harry Kane, that literally looks at the ball and then he just turns and looks at the man when they're jumping and just sticks his arse in.
Yeah, it's the same.
That's way more dangerous.
Yeah.
Way more dangerous than Lindelof just running up, trying to contest a header, but you as a dumb fuck defender hasn't just read the scenario in front of you.
Yeah.
And you've just stood there like that. Like, that's a you issue. Like, if anything, you just kind of deserve to get kneed in the fucking face when you're not even bothering contesting a man that's running at you and jumping. But also, what's Lindelof supposed to do when he's fucking in midair?
Yeah, you can't stop that sort of momentum. It's the same with sliding. You can't stop.
Yeah.
Like, if you're physically unable to stop and there's someone in your way, you can't do anything about it.
No.
So that shouldn't be. But is it because they can't necessarily judge intent? Like, you can't as a referee or as any person, you can't go, I think he's meant that. Well, you can say, I think he's meant it, but you can't know. So do you think that's why they have to give those?
Kind of, but also I think you probably can just by eye contact.
Oh, and what they're looking at, whether they're looking at the ball or not.
Yeah, and you know, like, say for instance, if like I'm watching the ball and I've not once just gone like that and glanced, but I'm watching the ball and then I go like that for a header, and obviously I'm using my arms and momentum and I've just elbowed someone in the face. That's not intent. Like, because I don't know he's there. But if I've going, done that, and then gone like jumped and put my elbow out, then that's intent. Like, I've gone to be like, get the fuck out of my way kind of thing. And
if you look at him, that makes sense.
It's the same like with the Lindelof one. If I'm like running full steam, and like as I'm running full steam and I've watched the ball, I've gone like that and looks at him, and then jumped and put my knee out, like as I'm jumping, like obviously, like you've done it on purpose. But if you're watching the whole time of the ball and going, right, here we go, jump, header, and then you've missed it, and then you've just gone, oh shit, and then like you've just got to need someone twatted in the face.
Yeah, you can't stop yourself.
Foul. Yeah, you can't do anything.
No, but then you did get an advantage off of one of their players being kneed in the face because you scored.
It didn't count.
Yeah, because he fouled him.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. So if he'd counted it, you would have got advantage off of one of their players being kneed in the face.
Yeah, but it's not a foul though.
I'm trying to like justify and like make it logical in my head.
Yeah, but like, but I was going to say, even if you said we got an advantage from someone getting kneed in the head, like I said, that's a you problem, kid. Like, you're literally stood there, not even switched on at a set piece. Like, that's a you fault. That is. That's a proper you problem.
Anyway, either way, 0-0. You're through now. So,
what
was that Europa League?
Yeah, we literally won the game before the whistle even blew.
They've done the draw, haven't they?
The game was dead. Yeah, we got AC Milan.
Oh.
Yeah, out of all the teams, mate, Ollie has no luck.
Could have got Slavia Prague.
Yeah, mate. To be honest, all the people in the competition are quite hard, but we could have had easier. Ollie never has.
Tottenham and Arsenal still in it.
Yeah, Arsenal got Olympiacos.
They beat Benfica, didn't they?
Could be a good one. Like AC Milan are doing all right.
I think it's like historically it would be a clash of the Titans, but it's not now. It's more like you're both doing all right. You're not both murking it. You know what I mean? You're both playing on the same sort of level, so it will actually be quite a good affair. I reckon.
This is like a game where like Ollie earns his money now. Like, see how it comes up against like a quality piece
bigger
of
teams, bigger and better teams.
Because they are a quality piece of opposition, and it'd be interesting to see Zlatan versus Maguire, how that turns out.
Oh, Zlatan's going to sun him, isn't he?
I don't know, mate. Maguire would probably do him in the air, like aerial duels and things. Like,
only thing that Zlatan doesn't have on Maguire is his age.
Yeah.
That's it. Everything else is way better than him.
But like Milan have got quite a good, like, balanced young team as well. So it'd be interesting to
compliments him. Yeah.
But speaking of the other half of Milan.
Oh, let's do it.
He's in to beat AC in the thing. And Lukaku is absolutely battering it at the moment.
Yeah, this is the thing. Like, he's proved that just because you have a bad few seasons doesn't make you a shit player.
He didn't even have a bad few seasons.
Well, however long he was at Man United for when he weren't firing.
He was, though. He scored double figures for us in both seasons. Like, he was, mate, I wanted him to stay. I really did. But
you're not every Man United fan, are you? So what I'm saying to you is, people were getting on his back. He weren't scoring. He was overweight. His touch was shit.
Oh yeah, he was mad overweight.
Yeah. So taking all of that into account doesn't make you a shit player. It just means that you fell off a little bit. And now he's.
No.
Do you know what? Yeah, that's got to be one of the biggest regrets for Manchester United, if you ask me. Apart from obviously selling Ronaldo, but you got to get your money where you can. Would be selling Lukaku, because if you had him now and he was on this type of form. Oh my days. You wouldn't even be worried about Martial.
No.
We wouldn't have even had that conversation earlier, mate. Lukaku would be bagging.
Well, although Martial did well last season and got like a good return, like, and it's just weird he's not doing it this season. He looks like a shell. Like,
yeah, he does. He doesn't look present. Talk to me about Lukaku anyway.
No, I think with Lukaku it suited both parties, didn't it, really? Like,
I mean, Inter got the better end of the deal, if you ask me.
Oh yeah, but it suited both him and United, because like we let go a player for relatively decent money on what we recouped majority of what we paid for him, and he gets to go and work under a manager that really wants him. Like, and just for those who are listening and don't understand it, before you jump, Ollie openly said to Lukaku, "I want you to stay." Ollie openly said to him, I want you in my team. Like, I want you to play for me. We want you to be the number 9 still. And Lukaku went, no, I'm done. And then Ollie just went, as the decent bloke he is, and just went, okay, fine. If a good offer comes in for you, we'll let you go. Like, we know Inter want you. We know you want Inter. If a good offer comes for you, you can leave. And then Lukaku went, yeah, fine. Cool.
Yeah. That's good. At least it ended on somewhat good terms. Like, not, or at least
someone said on a Q&A to Lukaku over Twitter, they said, what do you think of like Ollie's man management and how he's getting on and stuff? And Lukaku went, I just want to make it clear, I love Ollie as a manager and as a person. I wish him nothing but the best. Like, and it just shows that Lukaku said in an interview like last year that like Ollie genuinely sat him down and was like, we really, really want you here. Like, we proper want you to stay. And Lukaku just went, I'm done. He went, I'm done with playing in England. He went, I want to play somewhere else.
It's fair enough, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, out of all the football, that's literally it. That's all I had.
Yeah. Me too, man. I'm done. We can call it there if you want.
I mean, we've literally got Chelsea United this weekend, so
big epi next week.
Like big podcast derby. That is the big pod derby.
Yeah, that's going to be mad. I wanted to mention to you guys as well, actually, that are listening / watching this. It's not going to be Zoom calls forever.
No.
Yeah, I've figured it out. The setup in my head already. I've already got it. Obviously, it's going to be better. It's going to be way better. You're not going to have to worry about this grainy webcam. Too much exposure on the beanie hat as well. Look at that. It's bright white. This hat's blue. Yeah, it's going to be sick. Yeah, it's a blue hat, bro. Look.
Jeez. Oh, shit, yeah.
It's a blue hat. Yeah, it's light blue. But trust me, this podcast is going to go up levels, mate, when we get a couple of proper mics, couple of cameras, just a decent space. And you can actually come around my gaff as well, because Boris is going to be like, no, you lot can go out.
You know what I mean?
So it's going to be sick. So make sure you stay tuned for that shit. Obviously, you've got to wait about 4 months before that happens, but gives us a chance to save some peas. But yeah, we'll leave it there anyway. So as always, thank you for listening / watching. Make sure you like, subscribe, follow us if you're on Spotify or Apple. Liam, anything you want to say?
Comment down below as well on the YouTube. Who's going to win, Chelsea or Man United? So
boom. That's a big one for next week. Yeah, love that. All right, yeah, as always, again, thanks for listening, and we'll catch you next week. Peace.
Au revoir.